My thumb is digging into my finger. I didn't notice until it hurt. I just said no. That was it. Not loudly, not bravely. Just no. My shoulders jumped anyway. My body heard something my mouth didn't explain. I swallowed too hard. It made a sound. I hated that it made a sound. Silence was supposed to do the work. I didn't look at them. I could feel their pause, though, that tiny delay where people decide who you are now. My foot moved back, not leaving, just preparing. I wasn't planning escape. My body was. I waited for the follow-up question, the one where I justify myself. It didn't come. That was worse. There's a second after no where your hands don't know what shape to be. Mine kept changing. I could have explained. I felt the explanation line up in my throat. I didn't let it out. My neck itched immediately. Stress itch. The kind that shows up before thoughts do. I almost added a sentence, just one, to soften it. I stopped myself mid-breath. There was relief for half a second. Actual relief. It was small. It didn't last. Their arms crossed. Slowly. I noticed everything after that. Too much information at once. I shifted my weight like the floor had opinions, like it might reject me too. I kept my mouth shut on purpose. It felt unnatural, like holding in a cough. My eyes burned. Not tears, just that hot alert feeling. My body was awake now. This is the moment people talk about confidence. It didn't feel like that. It felt exposed. I stared at the floor so I wouldn't narrate myself. I didn't want to hear my own voice. My jaw locked. I wasn't angry. I was bracing. There's a difference, I think. Breathing got shallow, not panicked. Controlled. Too controlled. That's usually a sign. I checked their face. Just a glance. I wanted confirmation I hadn't broken something. One tap. I caught it. I stopped. I didn't want my body negotiating for me. Nothing happened. That was the problem. No argument, no reassurance, just space. The adrenaline had nowhere to go. It sat in my shoulders, heavy, lopsided. I noticed my thumb again, still pressing. I loosened it. The skin stayed pale. I didn't explain. I was still there. And somehow, everything already felt different. I keep thinking about one time. Not all of them. Just one. It won't let me rotate the camera. The phone was face down. I remember that clearly. I didn't flip it. I didn't want proof. They asked me for something small. It always starts small. My legs started moving before my mouth did. I heard myself say no. Calm voice. Neutral volume. No apology attached. That part felt intentional. Then I stopped. On purpose. I didn't add context. I didn't hand them instructions on how to disagree. My hands hovered, waiting for permission to move. I noticed that. I hated that I noticed. They looked at me longer than usual. Not confused. Measuring. That's the word my body chose. My neck went rigid. I wasn't scared yet. I was alert. There's a phase before fear. I swallowed because silence had weight now. It wasn't empty anymore. It was doing something. They leaned back. Just a few centimeters. Distance appeared without being announced. I tried to look relaxed. My fingers attempted a shape they'd seen before. It fell apart. I exhaled slowly. That trick usually works. This time it only reminded me I was waiting. I tilted my head like I was open to discussion. I wasn't. I corrected myself mid-gesture. One tap. I killed it fast. I didn't want rhythm. Rhythm invites conversation. I stared at the table edge. I remember a chip in the wood. That detail stayed. They finally spoke. Not loudly. My grip tightened anyway. My body moved first again. They asked why. Soft voice. Reasonable tone. That almost made me answer. My mouth opened. I felt a paragraph forming. I shut it down manually. I said no again. Same volume. No upgrade, no defense. My heart picked up speed. Their eyebrows moved. That was it. But something changed right there. I felt it land. I sat up straighter. Not proud, braced, like I'd just chosen a heavier version of myself. My hands settled. That surprised me. The panic didn't vanish. It just stopped asking permission. They looked away first. I didn't chase their eyes. That felt new. Unstable, but new. Something drained out of me. Not relief. More like pressure letting go unevenly. After, nothing dramatic happened. But I knew I wouldn't be asked the same way again. After that, I didn't feel brave. I felt empty. Not dramatic empty. More used up. My eyes hurt later. That deep ache from staying alert too long. Nothing to focus on anymore. I sat down and stayed there. Didn't check messages. Didn't replay it yet. Just sat. My hands finally stopped performing. No gripping, no signaling. They felt unfamiliar. Breathing got heavier, not panicked, tired. The kind of tired that presses inward. I looked at the wall and missed whole minutes. Time slid without asking me. My posture collapsed when no one was watching. I let it. I didn't correct it. I tasted metal. Stress does that. I forgot about it. Then remembered again. I almost checked my phone. Not for messages, for distraction. I didn't pick it up. My arm dropped like it weighed more than usual. That surprised me. On my back, staring up, I felt the day settle into my joints. Breathing wasn't smooth. It caught in odd places. No emergency, just residue. My head throbbed. Not pain, pressure, as if holding a shape too long. I shut my eyes. I saw the scene anyway. I opened them again. I wondered if I'd been cold or harsh. That question showed up late. My fingers moved like they were checking if they still belonged to me. I sighed without meaning to. It emptied something. Not enough. But something. I curled in a little. Not fully. Just enough to feel contained. I didn't feel proud. I didn't feel guilty yet. Mostly I felt slow. My skin kept asking for attention. Small scratches, little signals. Nothing urgent. I turned away from the room. I didn't want input. Just quiet pressure. Eventually, my breath softened. Not calm. Just less sharp around the edges. This is the part no one mentions. After the boundary. The fatigue. I felt hollow. Not broken. Just emptied of explanations. Nothing needed from me anymore. And somehow, that was heavier than before. The next day, my body remembered before my thoughts did. It held itself differently. I fixed my collar, then stopped halfway. It didn't need to be perfect anymore. Standing felt quieter, not stronger, just less reactive. Fewer alarms firing. When people talked to me, I noticed what didn't arrive. No leaning in, no testing tone. I nodded when it made sense. I didn't add padding. My voice stayed unused. Looking away used to feel rude. Now it felt like my eyes choosing rest. My hands stopped rehearsing gestures. They waited. Or maybe they trusted me. I hesitated once. Not from fear, from checking if I still wanted to proceed. Breathing came back in small pieces. Not deep, just honest. When someone asked me again, my chest didn't jump. That caught my attention. I said no. Same word, same size. It landed without echo. They adjusted themselves this time. That detail stayed with me longer than it should. Distance appeared again. But it didn't feel like punishment now. Just information. My heart was steady. Not calm. Steady is different. I noticed the difference. I didn't rush to fill gaps. Silence handled itself. I realized fewer things were being asked of me. Or maybe I just stopped offering. That thought didn't feel victorious. It felt neutral, slightly heavy, acceptable. Some people didn't follow me anymore. I noticed the quiet behind my steps. I checked once, just once. Nothing chased me. That should have felt lonely. It didn't. It felt finished. I wasn't lighter. I was less occupied. There's a difference I'm still learning. Breath moved through me without commentary. No narration needed. I didn't feel the need to explain them, or myself. That part surprised me. Things didn't improve. They simplified. That was harder to argue with. I still say no the same way. Calm, unfinished. And I leave it there.